If this much water wants to come up, they win. My alcohol wins.
Alrighty. Let's see. I turned that off vibrating again.
Just put it right here.
Alrighty. We're live.
Oh my gosh, so delayed. That's weird.
Bang bang. Alrighty. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the live stream. See, this one's not delayed. That's like actually what we look like. Alrighty. We're recording. And alright, people, episode 103 already. Aiden.
103.
This is crazy. We're feeling great here in the dugout. I don't know about anybody else. It's the weekend, Aiden. We had fun last night.
Great
it's
night.
it's just one of those things. It happens. It's Final Four weekend. You gotta celebrate,
Four
right?
weekend.
We might not be in Indy, but we celebrated nonetheless.
Yeah, we
Aiden's rocking North Carolina stuff. I've got my old school March Madness shirt on. I used to work for CBS and be a big shot. Obviously, we got the Baylor hat. And Aiden, I think we'll touch on one of the GOATs, Roy Williams. That's a 2009 championship hat for Carolina, honoring, if you guys don't know, Roy Williams. What is he saying? Oh boy. Trey, what up? Hopefully we'll see you later. Come watch the game. As everybody knows, I wear my good luck Baylor ring on game days. Gotta do that. We made it too far
Always
now.
like to,
We've
yep.
only lost twice since I've been since I've been doing it. So
Very superstitious.
yeah, just a little.
You gotta
It's
be.
working so
You gotta
far.
be.
I can't stop now. So everybody, we'll kind of, I guess, touch on the Elite Eight and Sweet 16 a little bit. I guess I don't know if we want to backtrack more than more. Just talk about today. Honestly, it's a great day. Final Four day, finally Saturday.
5 o'clock, 5:14, 5:14 tip.
5 o'clock. We're gonna see. We got the Battle of Texas, the Battle of Highway 6, as I'm calling it. I haven't heard anybody else say that. I don't know why. It's like the only way to get from Houston to Waco.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. And I've been talking a tough game in the first couple of rounds. I was like, I'm not sweating today. I might be sweating a little.
You know, there really was nothing to be nervous about until the Villanova game. Really, they really took care of business in their region and didn't have many hiccups at all.
Yeah. Arkansas scared me a little. Villanova, that was tricky.
Arkansas shot the lights out in that game.
The North Carolina game was tough.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, but
Big deal.
um,
Can't win them all.
and let's start, I guess should we start with Roy? We might as well start
I
with
guess,
that. Get
yes,
that out of the way.
yes.
The depressing topic. So if people don't know, I actually said this on air too. I was the worst April Fool's joke that happened to me, and it wasn't even an April Fool's joke. I woke up on April Fool's Day to a text. I think it was even from you guys
Yep.
in that group chat. Another group I'm in with other guys from high school, and he was like, "Oh, Roy Williams." I'm like, "Haha!" Like very funny, like April Fool's. And then I look on Twitter, and it's like North Carolina actually like announcing.
Yeah.
I still thought in the press conference, honestly, like he was gonna come out and be like,
Yeah.
"Aha!" Like in fresh Jordans, just like a new blazer, just be like April Fool's. Like I'm 70, but I'm still funny.
Yeah, God, do I wish that was true, but it wasn't. And I woke up that morning, and I was shocked. It was the worst way to wake up, and I was like, please tell me I'm sleeping. I was like slapping myself in the head. I was like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. But I didn't wake up from the nightmare. But we will be back, and I think it should be more about just Roy's legacy and his character and how just good of a man and a coach he's been, rather than focusing on a new coach to come, because they'll get a good coach just because of name brand and money talks. But it should really be more about Roy.
Yeah, it's tough, honestly. I guess all good things have to come to an end eventually. But you never want to like see that day. Not to plug another podcast, but like for people like, I think Titus and Tate did a really good job. I mean, they did a full episode. I mean, he went to
I think Tate's a
Carolina.
North Carolina fan too.
Yeah, so he's obviously like super invested, and he has really good perspective. I mean, I think he was a journalism major, so he's like been around the program for a long time, and really had some good stuff on just Roy, like how good of a person he was.
Yeah.
How his dad, like, no, it was Michael Jordan's dad built Roy like a dishwasher or something. It was a crazy story that just like it shows like that North Carolina old school, just like hard work ethic, like good people, like
derived from Dean Smith.
and that's what Roy, like, he really was just a good person, and people, One thing they didn't really mention that I thought they should have, which I think we're seeing it today, is I think Scott Drew and Mark Few might be the two only guys left not doing the one and done thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy kind of was that last,
He was.
but he has the championships to back it up, whereas Drew and Few don't yet. Maybe in a couple days here, but
No, I completely agree. And that's why, that's like you see, like I'm a big proponent of developing players and mixing in a few star players because, like, when you have freshman laden teams, like, for instance, Duke in 2019, Kentucky in 2015, like, when you have these teams that are led by freshmen, it's just experience in March always wins. When you have a senior point guard, when you have when you have a senior front court, senior back court, and you have that senior leader on your team, and just people who have been there and know the culture and have the keys to the program. I mean, it's just much more stabilizing than it is to have freshmen leading your program.
yeah, it's honestly I'm kind of happy that this is like the Final Four we're getting because it's kind
Oh,
of
me too, absolutely.
actually
Absolutely.
proving that. Whereas I think it used to.
Houston too. Houston is very experienced and very
That's
old
true.
too.
Yeah, is Quentin Grimes a junior or is he a senior?
Grimes, I think he's a redshirt because did he take a year off when he transferred from Kansas or no? I'm not
I
sure.
think so.
Yeah, 'cause he played at Kansas his freshman year, took a year off, so I think he's a redshirt junior or sophomore.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to fact check that. People don't. But yeah, no, I mean honestly, from that point, it's like everything you said. I mean, we're seeing experience definitely helps. I don't.
Mhm.
We'll.
The guards of Baylor, very experienced, been there a long time, and they're deep too.
It's just. I don't know. I really like Roy. It's like I try to like smile about it and not be like
Yeah,
sad.
we're
But
we're talking like he died, but
I know.
a part of me died when he retired. You know, it's
It's
childhood idols, great man, great person, 3 national championships. In my opinion, the best thing that's happened to North Carolina basketball. I mean, you can argue Dean Smith, but I honestly think Roy is a better coach in making decisions. Dean may be a better. Actually, you know, I don't even know who's a better
Right, they're
character builder.
both
How do you
such
judge
good-
a character builder?
good
I mean,
people, yeah.
so many good players, so many good pros. Roy Williams actually did coach Paul Pierce at Kansas. Fun fact. So he does have a nice rapport of developing pros too, and his teams win. His teams that are experienced, most of his teams have won besides the last 2 years. And you know, I think, especially with the COVID year, I feel like he kind of just like messed with his mind a little bit because he was thinking like, okay, maybe I don't have what it takes. But I mean, it's a COVID year, and if he did continue to coach, I was talking with my friend Zachy. Shout out Zachy, he's in the fantasy basketball league. I was talking with him. He's gonna have to change his style a little bit because his method of developing players is hard now. Because when you recruit 5 stars, everyone and their mother wants to go to the pros. Like,
right.
not everyone can get drafted, and everyone leaves, and everyone wants to play too. Like Walker Kessler transferred when he was ready to be the marquee piece of that team. Like he was ready to take the keys to the program in his sophomore year, and he showed it. He showed it against Florida State. I think he had like 8 blocks against Florida State, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Like, so what I'm trying to get at is that these players they don't want to stay as much as they used to, and when you look at Roy's 3 national championship teams, Raymond Felton and Sean May in 2005. I think they were both seniors or juniors. Tyler Hansbrough, Ty Lawson, Danny Greenway in Ellington, 2009. And then 2017, you had Barry, who was a junior, played in a Final Four before, had that experience. And the team before that, very experienced, Bryce Johnson, Marcus Page, both seniors. And in 2017, you had Jackson, Pinson, Barry, all juniors. You had Meeks, you had Hicks, you had Nate Britt. They were all seniors. And I mean, that was the recipe for success. And it worked really well. I mean, I think Roy has 903 career wins or something like that. I wish
Yeah.
he stayed for 1,000. That's what I was hoping for, but he has grandkids, and it's time for him to hit the links.
It's honestly crazy. Like he's old, man. It's just like
He's 70.
to put like plain and simple. I think 70 and would have been 71 by the start of next season. And it's almost like Coach K ruins it for I think the rest of us.
K's
And maybe Leonard
75.
Hamilton, but like not like on as big of a stage. But K is like he's got the devil on his side, man. There's no
does,
like
literally.
and like we all like these guys can just coach forever, but they're human, man. It's like you're 7 like most people retire at 65. It's like and we like expect these guys to just keep coaching in their 70s, and it's like that shouldn't be expected.
Yeah.
Like it's not fair. Like what we put on these. I mean, I personally like don't like. K's an example.
K's been there forever. He's been there for 40
And then Leonard
years.
Hamilton has like the fountain of youth on his side, so
Mhm.
that's another like extreme example. But I mean, honestly, like you said, I mean, he can't. He was a bucket away from 4-time champion. I mean,
Yep.
it's like
Yep.
it's you
Still
you
hurts.
can't take
Still
that
hurts.
you can't take that stuff away. And like you said, I mean,
And he lost to Syracuse in 2003 at Kansas.
Oh yeah, like
Camelo.
you could rattle off his and that's one thing too is I think his Kansas career kind of goes like they tweeted like a thank you for like what you
Yep.
did at Kansas. The stats of him
Hmm.
at Kansas are like incredible. Like
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how good he was at Kansas. Yes, it's Kansas, but like it's still I think it's still impressive. People pull the like oh he only coached at two blue blood programs. It's like we see people go to blue
He
blood
took
programs and
Carolina.
not win.
Yeah,
Like it's not
Carolina was in the dirt in like 2002, 2003. He took
when
that
he first
program over,
started, right? Yeah, it
revamped
was.
it, and brought them back to national prominence to today. For they've been a marquee brand. I mean, they always have been a marquee brand thanks to Dean Smith. But I mean, he really brought them back to the top. And honestly, you can make the argument that since Roy came to Carolina, Carolina's been the best school in college basketball since Roy went to Carolina. I mean, 3 titles in like what 18 years, many number one seeds, many Final Fours. I mean, he put Carolina at the top.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, everybody. That was our little Roy Williams segment there. Because, I mean, honestly, dude, that is
Salute to Roy Williams.
that's much needed. All right, better subject. Let's get the bracket. Touch on the other games a little bit here. Um, Gonzaga Creighton. I mean, what do we say? Did we do the Sweet 16? No, we couldn't have. Right? It's the same weekend as the Elite Eight.
No, we did.
Um,
No, we didn't. We did not.
right? Yeah,
You're right. We
it
did
could it
not.
had to have been last week, right?
Yeah.
So Gonzaga gets by Creighton. USC Oregon at USC won. I guess
Oh,
they were the favorite.
yeah.
I kind of was thinking
USC
Oregon,
pummeled them.
but
I was thinking Oregon too. That was a shocker to me.
um,
USC, they laid the wood.
yeah, that was a surprising outcome. Then obviously Gonzaga got by USC. We get Michigan out of that bracket. Honestly, Aiden, I was hoping for Florida State or Alabama. I personally thought Alabama or Florida State would have been the more entertaining game against
Hmm.
Gonzaga. Alabama, I was hoping they make 15 threes and maybe they can like give Gonzaga a shot. And then Florida State just had the athletes and the dudes to
Yes.
like hopefully maybe give
Hmm.
Gonzaga a push. We'll see if UNC can. We'll talk about it, I guess, here in a minute. But we'll see what UCLA can do to them. Baylor gets by. Gets by Arkansas. That was a good game. I mean,
It was a great game. I think it was a better game than the final score showed.
yeah,
It was
Arkansas.
exciting. Arkansas started slow, but when they got rolling, let me tell you something. That Arkansas team is fun to watch because they can shoot the lights out.
Yeah, they're. I think they're a year away from being like as good as Baylor is now.
Hmm.
They're. We'll see what the Must Bus can do on that one.
Unless he
Um,
comes to Carolina.
oh man, that I wouldn't hate. That third job in like 4 years. That'd be crazy. Midwest bracket, Aiden, was my worst one. I mean, I had West Virginia and Oklahoma State coming out of here. I couldn't have been more wrong. I'm trying to even see who like played, and I was so wrong. I don't even know. Um, but Houston comes out in the end. I'm like blanking on who they
Oregon
even.
State made the Elite Eight.
The Beavers. Remember, I think in the last podcast, I was like if the Beavers make the Final Four, I'll be stunned.
You
And they were
said if
very
You
close.
said if the Beavers make the Final Four. We made a bet like you couldn't watch Baylor all of next year until like March Madness.
And they
And
were
it
close.
almost happened.
They were close. So yeah, we got the Cougars. I mean, and we were an overtime away from getting all ones and twos, which would have been
Hmm.
kind of crazy after this year. But after the UCLA win, I think shout out to Matt Norlander. I think he's the one who found this or credited it. Um, the most upsets in March Madness history. An upset is quote unquote, is it 4 seeds or 5 seeds lower than the team that they're playing? So the most upsets ever. Everybody after
And
that
and a very
UCLA
and
win.
2 1 seeds and a 2 seed in the Final Four.
It's surprised. Yeah, I can't imagine if
Yeah, Houston.
like Houston was a bucket
Houston
away
was
from losing to
blessed.
Rutgers.
Houston was blessed.
They
They,
coulda-
they
they
had a
coulda
very they had a very nice road.
They were very close to losing to Rutgers, and we have a totally. Obviously, that's March Madness. We could do that with a bunch of games.
Houston didn't beat a single digit seed.
Oh yeah, Rutgers is a 10.
Syracuse,
Cuse was an 11.
Oklahoma State.
Beavers. Yeah, Beavers are a 12. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually a point I wanted to make about Gonzaga. I know people are probably going to call me like a Gonzaga hater, which I'm not one of those people who says they play a cupcake schedule. I get it, it's true. But this year, and they proved it. I mean, they played Iowa, they played West Virginia, they played Kansas, they kicked the crap out of everybody. I don't think that's true. But one point, we might as well jump into Final Four and championship talk. That's what we're all here for.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad we're starting with this because it's a hot take that I haven't heard once on ESPN or CBS.
Mm.
They haven't played anybody in this tournament.
Yeah, in
Like
this
not
tournament.
counting the year, they haven't played a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed, and they're playing an 11 in the Final Four. Why? No one is talking about it. I get it. They're double-digit favorites in every game. They won every game by double digits. The best team they've beaten is a 5 seed Creighton that people had as like a trendy 5-12 upset pick.
Yep. And they almost did lose. They won by like a point.
Who have they? Who have they? Gonzaga has not beaten literally anybody. And remember, I think on the first podcast we did about the bracket coming out before the tournament started, I said Oklahoma was going to give them their hardest run in the second round,
And they did.
and it wasn't close at the end, but like at halftime, that was a good game, and
I think it got down to 7 in the second half.
and they were an 8 seed. So I'm not saying Gonzaga is not going to win the national championship, but I don't know if they're more vulnerable than maybe people think. I don't know about against UCLA.
There's no
I'm
way
not
to-
saying
yeah,
that.
and there's no way to tell. There's no way
But-
to tell. In the Gonzaga Baylor game, if that's what we get,
Fingers crossed.
that is going to be the game of the year because they've been the two best teams the entire year. I mean,
And I actually pinned that tweet. I want to play that game 3 times. That we need a series. man.
because
We need
you're nervous that you want to.
Well, no, because I think they beat us in 3 games. I won. We have a better chance, but I just think it'd be like as a basketball fan, I just want to watch that game like multiple times.
Yeah, just if that's the final.
Like I literally just want them to go to a park in Indianapolis and just play. Like have somebody do this, just live stream the game,
Yeah.
and just have these dudes just balling in a park in Indy, just like 5 times. Just do-
Yeah, just if this is the game that we get, it's gonna be honestly. I think it could be one of the better national championship games we see.
Yeah, I hope at least like you can only hope for like those buzzer beater type close games at the end. But I'll have a panic attack, and
I would.
we probably won't see an episode 104.
Yeah.
It's a 2-point game at the buzzer, and
As a fan, I'd much rather my team kick the crap out of the other team in the national championship,
right.
which is what we did in 2009. Wasn't even close.
So Aiden, UCLA, Gonzaga, 14 points I think is the spread. Do you like UCLA to at least keep it within 14?
I do. You know, it's the Final Four, and anything can happen. And UCLA they are hot as a pepper. And Johnny Juzang is sticking
He's
it to
a
Kentucky.
baller, man.
He's sticking it to Kentucky. And Calipari's rolling over in his bed right now.
I love that. Kentucky fans would be so mad.
Mm-hmm. Good for him, though. Good for him.
That is,
That team can shoot.
it's one of those bets. I think I'm using my heart more than like my brain because I like just want it to be a close game for like an entertainment.
No,
Like,
I
it's
don't-
like a totally selfish like. I just want it to be a 7-point game at least. Like, please just keep it. Like, if it's a
Yeah.
19
Make it
point blowout,
entertaining.
like, who wants to watch a Final Four game that's like a 15-point win? Like 15 points in a Final Four. That's an absurd spread. I want somebody to do the research and see. When's the last time a team made the national championship without playing a top 4 seed? Has that ever even happened? Like, I can't imagine. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, it is.
So we'll see. I mean, and the UCLA being an underdog thing
Mm-hmm.
is hilarious. Like, we're talking about the team that's won the most national championships of any team ever.
Yeah, I know.
And they're an 11 seed in the tournament, and like they're the underdogs. It's just like that's why I think we like college basketball so much is because you get that like that kind of story. Like, I think if we would like imagine teleporting like back 50 years and be like, hey, UCLA is gonna be an 11 seed, and they're gonna be the underdog in the Final Four.
Yeah.
People be like, okay, like you sure we don't have 22 championships by now? So, and then Baylor, Houston, 5-point spread.
I've
That's
never
a
been.
lot.
I've never been really hot on Houston, but they're a gritty, rugged, tough team. Like led by Dejan Zero, who's played out of his mind. Incredible defensive player. I mean, this Houston team is kind of dangerous. You know, honestly. I mean, I wasn't very hot on them. I mean, they did have a nice road, nice easy path, like Gonzaga. I mean, they
Right.
had an easier path than Gonzaga. If you want to compare seed lines, but I mean,
Yeah.
this Houston team, they're rugged. They get after it on the offensive glass, and they just play tough. They are just a tough, rugged team. Like they're like that little like the little brother that just keeps like nodding his head right into your stomach and never stops. And you have to stiff arm him to get him out of the way. That's what my brother always used to do.
I was gonna say, aren't you the little brother?
I am the little brother. I'm not the little brother anymore.
That's fair. Yeah. So, dude, they are man. Like offensive.
tough.
When you can offensive rebound And like you mentioned, like
That's
when you have
that's
senior guards in March,
that's what I'm.
Quentin Grimes,
Roy Williams' recipe for success: rebound, as he says, rebound the crap out of the ball, and you have your senior guards,
and
and that's
and
what they have.
they have both, and that's a
And I
little.
like Kelvin Sampson.
It's true. I actually didn't realize how controversial his like firing was from Indiana until recently. Like people have been talking about it. He essentially got fired from Indiana for people that don't know for texting recruits, and like that's what just people like that's just normal now. But
Yeah.
back then, texting was this new like dirty thing. It was like, why are you texting recruits like off
Yeah.
the clock? And like in hindsight, like almost give credit to him, like because he's a genius. Like
Yeah.
why wouldn't
The
you
head of the
text your
game.
recruits? Obviously, you can't like text them bad things or like bribe them, but like I see nothing wrong with texting players. So I mean, good for
It's like to give it an analogy. It's like when Elvis was shaking his hips in the '60s, and people were like, "Oh,
Oh
my
my
God,
God.
Elvis!" Now you have people naked on stage.
Yeah, twerking. We got Cardi B whopping, whatever.
Izzo, or whatever her name is.
My oh my. But like credit to Houston fans. I mean, they're probably happy. Indiana fans
Good for Houston though.
must
You
be
know
mad.
they've been good for a long time, and they don't have they don't have a Final Four since the '80s to show for it.
Right.
You know I know you've always been hot on Houston in years past, but like maybe good for them. I'm proud of them, and they're tough, and they deserve to finally be in a Final Four, and it's good to see because you know when you're that good, when you have that many good teams and you have no Final Fours to show for it, it kind of sucks. So I'm happy for the fan base of Houston.
Yeah, I think I was actually hotter on them last year. This year, I just almost they were like one of those teams that just in the rankings they're not falling because they're not losing.
Mm-hmm. And
But
I
shit,
mean,
now they proved it.
yeah,
I mean, they're here. They made it. Like it's like they're the like you said, easy path. They were a bucket away
hey,
from
Final Four is a Final Four.
right.
What
I
can tell
mean,
you?
to win was it 4 games in a row
Mm-hmm.
by now? To win 4 games in a row isn't easy on any regard. Like, and you're playing all
Hot
to
teams.
almost say the opposite of what I was talking about Gonzaga earlier. You're playing nothing but good teams in March. It's like no bad teams make the tournament. So maybe they're a lower seed, maybe they're a 12 or an 8, but like you're a decent team if you're
Yeah, and if you're winning, you're hot.
yeah, if you're in the dance and you're making it to the second round or Sweet 16, you're obviously doing something right. But we both Gonzaga Baylor championship. I mean, we're hoping for it, rooting
Mm-hmm.
for it.
I agree. I think Gonzaga and UCLA is going to be a little closer than people think. I think UCLA is just like they say, Cinderella team of destiny. And I think
And at this
Baylor.
point, your confidence has to be
Yep.
like you've won 4 games in a row. They've won 5 in a row. Like they had a overtime against.
I think that both of these games can be really good games, but I also think that Gonzaga can also blow UCLA out of the water. And I think Baylor could not blow Houston out of the water, but they
But
could.
if they start draining threes, they could
a-
get away.
They could get like you saw in Arkansas early in the games. Baylor they were hot.
Yeah, that was a good first half. That was fun.
That was a great first half. That was fun to watch. And watching Arkansas storm back in that game, it was fun.
Yeah, I've never seen a team come back that many times like Arkansas. And what was it, like the most ever or something, right?
Mhm.
10-point deficits. You think Gonzaga's gonna win it all?
I do. You know, honestly, I think Gonzaga's going to win it all. I mean, just because they're loaded. I mean, but so is Baylor, and they have just a couple stars that can absolutely take over the game. And Drew Timme is fundamentally sound. He is your protege, big man. That he's like the guy you want, like running your offense from down low.
Yes, he
Yes,
isn't that his like
and
thing?
he has the little
The little stash,
what
goatee.
do you want to call it? You call it a porn star stash or something like that, but or like someone from like a really cheesy Nickelodeon cartoon. But honestly, I love Few, and I like Few to get his first title. I mean, obviously, if Baylor loses, you're gonna be very upset. I mean, but Mark Few has been a great coach for such a long time and has done an incredible job with this program. And I think Jalen Suggs has a 30-plus point game in the national championship. But I think obviously it's gonna be a barnstormer. That game's going to be
If
fun.
he does that,
to
he
watch.
might play himself right into a number 1 pick too.
Yeah.
If he does that on the
Like
biggest
what you
stage.
saw what DiVincenzo did in 2018 with Villanova,
Yeah.
31 points off the bench in the national title game. His draft stock skyrocketed, but I don't know what he's doing now. I haven't really paid attention to him. He could be good. I don't know. Like
Right.
I don't.
No, I don't know either.
Yeah, I only pay
He could
attention.
have dropped 15 for like the Hawks last night. I don't even know what team he plays for.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, like you said, I mean, if Gonzaga's playing anybody but Baylor, I'd be rooting for Mark Few. I have no like. It's one of those championship games too. I'm not like. I have no bad blood against them. You know what I mean? They've never done. It's not like a rival
Yeah, like
game. Where, you know, it's not like,
when we played them in 2017, like that was and they had Karnowski that year. Remember Big Karnowski, the lefty, huge from like Polish, like from like Poland or something. They were
Right.
like telling his story how he came over, and like they were showing his mom and his dad. And like I was like, gosh, how do I root against this team? I mean, they're just not like they're not cocky. They're not like that blue blood like Duke or Kentucky program that you just hate because they have a Hall of Fame coach. They're good and they're snobby. I mean, Kentucky's not really snobby, but Duke is just a snobby school, and I can't stand them. But like, there's just not much to dislike about Gonzaga.
Yeah. Um, Obviously, a little bias comes into play here, but I think Baylor's got a better shot than people are giving it. I don't know
So do I. I think
what the
honestly,
spread will be. Do you think it'll be a close spread, or you think they're going to be like
I think it'll be
favorites?
I think it'll be four at most.
Yeah, I
Gonzaga by
mean,
four at most.
and I think people are going to hammer that. People are going to think Gonzaga's
I
going
don't
to
know. I
walk away
mean,
with it.
I think Baylor can easily win this game. I think either team can easily. Obviously, one team has to win, but like I think Baylor is exceptional. When you have the guard play that Baylor has, and when you have Mark Vital doing what he's doing down low, I mean he's 6'5" and he is playing like he's 7 foot and he's like 200. He's playing like Anthony Davis, and he's playing like Anthony Davis with more meat on him, but he's 6'5" and he's playing incredible down there. And I don't know. I mean the guards of Baylor are just incredible, and I don't know if Gonzaga can defend them as well as they've defended other teams in the past. And honestly, Gonzaga hasn't seen a team like Baylor to this date. Like high energy, incredible on the defensive end, shoot, can get out in transition, can run the floor like crazy. And when you have a big man like Mark Vital, who's not really big, but he can run the floor, that's something that Gonzaga is it's gonna hit them. Like they could get punched in the face early in this game, but I do think that they're gonna settle in and figure it out. But I mean,
And I think you've said it, and other people I've heard say it. It's like, how do you stop Jalen Suggs? And my counter argument is Davion Off Night Mitchell. I
yep.
mean, Defensive Player of the Year. You put him on Suggs. You can really put any of Baylor's guards on Suggs. They're all pretty good defenders, but I don't think he's been locked down yet this year. I
Mm.
mean, and obviously the one game
And
we all
and
talk
he's
about they almost lost or
mm.
didn't win by double digits was the one game he was out of it. He got hurt, hurt his ankle, but
He's a freshman, right?
yeah.
That's incredible.
So
That is incredible what he's doing as a freshman.
so it's funny. I think it was some guy on Fox Sports, or maybe it was I'm forgetting, but he was like, how do you stop Jalen Suggs? Like they're gonna win because you can't stop him. And I was like, well, Baylor's got a dude that can stop him.
They do.
So or at least try to stop him.
I
So
will give it to you that people are counting Baylor out a little bit,
yeah, it's.
just
I think
because
people
just
forget the narrative is like it's been Baylor Gonzaga all year. The
hmm
COVID pause I think really dropped the ball, like put Gonzaga on another
hmm
tier, and I don't think it's
Gonzaga's
like
played a
that.
lot
I
of
think
games
they're
too.
I think they're still on the same tier, but everybody has Gonzaga.
hmm
Like it used to be Gonzaga and Baylor, and then Michigan, and then everybody,
hmm
and now everybody has it like Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and like
Yeah.
it's I don't know.
Michigan with Isaiah Livers.
Right.
I was upset about that because Michigan really was
I'm
playing
still
well.
hoping he'd come back.
Even though he was without him, even though they played without him,
They played
they
so
still played
good.
great. They
They
did.
played
I
so
mean,
good.
they kind of laid a scoring egg in the Elite Eight, but still, another Elite Eight for Michigan. They're a legitimate blue blood school. They've been good for like 5 years now,
Yeah.
5 6 years. They're a blue blood. Gonzaga's a blue blood now. Like this is exciting.
Hashtag New Blood, Florida
New
State.
blood. There you go.
They
Florida State's
coined
gonna.
that one.
I'll need a Final Four or so to put Florida State, but obviously Florida State's done a great job. But back to the topic is I think with Gonzaga, I wanted to bring this up. People are talking about like their undefeated season, blah blah blah. Yes, they haven't played as many games, but like if you compare how many games they played this year to like say like a UCLA team in like the '70s, like that went undefeated, or like the Indiana team that went undefeated, they only played like they didn't play 40 games. Like I know you play
Right.
42 to win. Like you have to win like 42 and 0 like nowadays. But like with the COVID season, like it's less games. But like I mean, an undefeated season, I'd count it just as much as any other undefeated season if they
Oh
went
yeah.
undefeated because they still played like 34, 35 games.
And they're not one of the teams who they didn't have a bunch of games postponed, like
They
as
didn't.
many as
And
others.
like they played a lot. I mean, maybe if you have like a 27, 28 wins or 20, maybe then you can make the argument like okay, undefeated season, whatever. But like if they have an undefeated season, I'll credit it just as much. I mean, not that it matters what I think, but I'll definitely put it up there with any other undefeated season ever because this team's just remarkable.
Yeah. No, I would. I mean, they will go down as one of the best ever. I think if they do it, for obvious reasons. I mean, you go undefeated, like you're saying, it's
I would love to see this Gonzaga team, if barring they do win, I mean, obviously for you, I hope they don't. Honestly, I really don't know if I want them to win or not because, like, I don't know if I want to listen to you for the entire year on how Baylor's the national champion. I mean, but I also would be upset to see you upset over a Baylor national championship loss. But back to what I was saying is that I totally forgot.
I don't think like Baylor's such an underdog school. It's not like I'm not like a Kentucky fan. Like I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like a gloating. It's almost like I'm just gonna hope at least
I got it.
and think like I think we'll just be grateful and happy that we won because like we didn't get the shot last year. So it's like
It's a great
it's not
feeling.
gonna be like a I told you so. It's just gonna be like a thank God.
If Baylor
Like we
wins, you will never. It's something that you will just you'll take to your grave.
right.
Like even like just fan to fan, it's something you'll take to your grave. You know, I'm a little spoiled, but what I was gonna say is that I want to see if this Gonzaga team goes undefeated. I would love. Obviously, you could never do this because it's just impossible. I'd love to see this Gonzaga team either play 2018 Villanova or 2009 North Carolina because those were the two recent teams in history who won all their games by double digits and completely pounded the field, and it wasn't even close. Like they were both the number one seeds in the tournament, both undefeated, both very experienced, both basically from the beginning of the season they thought, oh, they're going to win the national championship. And when you have when you have Colin Gillespie, and when you have Jalen Brunson, when you have
That team
Nicole
is
Bridges, and
so
when you
good.
have Tyler Hansbrough and Ty Lawson, I mean, both of those teams were basically picked from the start and like, okay, they're gonna win. It's not even a question. I don't know if there was a Baylor in those. I don't know if there was Baylor because this Baylor team is incredible, and beating this Baylor team for a national title would be remarkable. And I'd love
Almost
to,
like more
and
impressive.
I would love to. Yeah, I totally agree, and I would love to see one of them play against this team. I mean, obviously you can't, but that would
Right.
be like if they win, I'll put them 1, 2, and 3 any order you can. I mean, obviously because they're undefeated, you'd probably put them one, but like
Yeah, you might
in
have
the
to.
last 21 years, best three teams in the last 21 years, in my opinion.
And it's impressive that like I think it's really impressive. Number one in the preseason poll, never lost
Never
it.
left.
Like never like that. That's in like especially when they actually had a tough non-conference to start. It's like they they could have choked versus Iowa or Kansas
Mm-hmm.
or one of those guys
Yeah,
and rolled
and
through. And obviously, we all wish the Baylor Gonzaga game would have happened already,
yeah.
but we can't.
Honestly, this makes it sweeter. First time they're seeing each other, like just the narrative. First time they're seeing each other on the biggest stage in basketball. I mean, obviously, there's not going to be as many fans. At least there will be some fans. I think that they could fit more fans. I mean, and if you want to go, you should be able to go at your own risk. But obviously, that's irresponsible. But
Right.
on the biggest stage, the two best teams, bar none, in the country for the entire year, and honestly, like that is going to be a barnstormer of a game, and I cannot wait to watch it. If barring it does happen, I'm rooting for it to happen. I'm rooting for Baylor to make it to the national championship. I don't know. I'll flip a coin for the champion because I can't root against Mark Few. And it's time for Gonzaga to get theirs after we got ours. And
It's
I
like one of
think
those just bet the spread for Baylor because you
yeah.
just like want it to be a close game. But
Hmm.
like,
And after, if back to my Gonzaga thing, last thing I'll say about Gonzaga, like Gonzaga. I'm like, don't even shut up about Gonzaga. Rightfully so, though.
yeah, no,
Honestly, you shouldn't shut up about Baylor either. They did lose 2 games, but this team is incredible. One of the best teams I've
half the team
seen.
had COVID.
One of the best teams I've seen in the last 10 years, along with this Gonzaga team. And that being said, if this, I just thought of this. If this Gonzaga team does beat this Baylor team, I'll put them over Villanova 18 and Carolina 09 because of the fact that this Baylor team is damn good, and I don't think that there has been a national championship game this good in a very long time. At least not that I can remember. I mean, like with these two superpowers, yes, 2016 was an incredible game, but like
I don't think there's ever been a tier of just two teams
exactly,
before.
yes,
Like
that's exactly what I'm saying.
usually it's like 8 teams.
Like the
Like
top,
hey, there's like 8 teams gonna win the national championship. This year it really was just who's gonna beat Baylor or Gonzaga.
yeah. I mean,
It's,
and you write your brackets for parity, but like. You like to make some parity and have Baylor lose in the Sweet 16 or Gonzaga lose in the final. Actually, that's not even parity. You can't not have Gonzaga in the Final Four, but you make brackets
I
for
did in
parity.
some of mine.
Obviously,
just for
for
fun.
fan reasons
Yeah,
and for fun. But like you try to make parity with your brackets, but like there's really no parity to be made with these two teams. Like it's I honestly I'm not shocked at all that they're both in the Final Four, and I'm not gonna be shocked when both of them are in the national championship. Hence, I mean this is just these two teams have been incredible the entire year, and that's all. I
And
have
just
to
as
say.
college basketball fans, I think we just after last year being canceled, kind of like just deserve it.
Yep.
Honestly, like
It's upsetting.
not having a tournament last year, like you can only hope to get the two best teams in the because that always doesn't happen in March. Like
Yeah.
we don't always get the two best teams at the end. So.
Yeah, and there wasn't a tournament, and part of me is kind of happy because we weren't making Carolina wasn't making the tournament last year, so we never missed the tournament because there was none.
Can't lose if you don't play.
Exactly.
um, honestly, I think we hit on most of it. I don't know. I think that was pretty good.
Yep. Scores. You want to do some score picks for for these games tonight, and then we could pick the national championship score.
Oh man, I want to cheat and
But
look at Ken Palm first.
Didn't we make a bet that I have to pay you for?
No, because Baylor and
No,
UNC never played.
Yeah. You're right. All right, I'll make.
What was your pool? $5 and mine was 10.
Yeah.
We just like pay each other's entry fees.
Yes.
Just like a.
Baylor Gonzaga.
Wasn't that the bet?
Yes, it was. You're right. And I think we should make a bet for the national championship game if it's Gonzaga. Actually, if it's Gonzaga Baylor, assuming that happens, we'll bet the point spread.
Okay. I have to take Baylor.
Yeah, exactly. So if Baylor loses by say 4, you win because if say it's like 5, say the spread's 5, yeah, we'll bet the spread for the game, and you take Baylor to cover, and I take Gonzaga to cover.
All right.
$5.
Alrighty.
You know what? $10. Why? Because if Baylor wins the national championship, I'll just give you $10 straight up. I don't even care. I don't even care if they lose by 4. I will just give you $10 because if Baylor keeps it a close game and if Baylor wins the
participation
national,
trophy.
I don't even need. And if Baylor wins the national championship, I'll give you $10 just because you're just gonna have that big smile on your face for the entire year until they lose again next year, and it's gonna be tough for all of us, all of our friends, all of Dave's friends. It's gonna be hard, especially in the fantasy college
I've been
basketball.
trying hard not to be annoying on social media. I think I was more annoying last year.
Yeah, I think you've done a very good job this year.
Last year, there was more hype around the season last year. I think this year, honestly, as a college basketball fan, I've had like a little almost like I don't want to get so excited because last year was like so devastating when it got taken away. Yeah. So I'm almost like it could be taken away again. I've had that. You know what I mean? It's like in the back of my head, don't get excited. I'm still I haven't had my phone on. Fingers crossed there hasn't been a test. I hope they just stop testing, honestly. Yeah. Who said that? Kim Mulkey, that went viral. And that was bad. She's like, stop testing. Which, for a money-making perspective, if they have to postpone the Final Four, that's everybody knows that's not good.
Just give me the damn game.
Yeah,
just give me the game.
Everybody knows.
We earned it. It's been a long year. And it's going to be a long year, especially if Baylor wins, especially in the Fantasy College Basketball group chat, because Dave, tell you right now, he will not shut up. Every day he'll wake up and salute his Baylor flag or something. And he'll play a song. One of our old friends, actually, big Ohio State fan, passed away. Every morning he would wake up, play the Ohio State fight song, and just take a video of him with the Ohio State flag after they won the national championship with Zeke Elliott in 2015, and he would just salute. And that's gonna be Dave if they win.
No. I'll try not to do that.
Honestly, it's okay. It's fine. Because I would do the same thing.
Oh, man.
No, I wouldn't salute a flag, but
Wow. Good stuff. All right, should we get out of here?
I think we did it.
We got
an hour. We have an hour and 11 minutes. 5:14 tip off.
I think it's time to start drinking. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I might be tapping out tonight.
All right, everybody. If you tuned in, I appreciate you. We'll certainly get an episode out if Baylor wins. Win or lose, we'll get an episode out. I don't know how we'll do it, but
maybe I'll just gloat for Gonzaga just to make you upset and make some entertainment.
I am gonna lose so much money if Gonzaga wins. I lose the group, the Stoplight Enthusiast group for everybody that's in that. I think shout out to Cullen. I don't know why I'm giving you a shout out because you're an
Baylor
idiot.
wins, you win my group.
If Baylor wins, I think I'm winning both bracket pools. I have FanDuel. Shout out to FanDuel. Did not a free. Have you seen those? They move the spread. It's spread the love.
Yeah.
Those bets. So we did that. We put $50 on that. So it was a free. You won $45 because what was it? Michigan State. It's Michigan State plus 105. Michigan State's not going to lose by 100 points. So I won $45 because Michigan State did lose by. So I literally just took that $45 and put it on Baylor to win the national championship before the tournament started because it was a free $45.
Mm-hmm.
I'll win $300 from just that bet. So like, dude, I'm not gonna just be happy for Baylor. I'll be happy for my pocketbook. Pocketbook? Why did I just say? Like I have a purse. We gotta go. We gotta get out of
For your
here.
pocketbook.
For my pocket, my wallet.
You still have a little BAC from last night.
Yeah, dude, probably. Phew. All right, people. That was episode 103, 104, 103, 103. We're gonna go 103.
Okay. Well, I just want to do one more thing for you. Give me your most outstanding Final Four player.
Whoa.
You mean don't make it Jared Butler. Make it a.
No.
Make it a.
Well, I hope it's not gonna be Quentin Grimes, or Johnny Juzang. Those would be great stories, but that's if they pull the upsets. I think those are the two guys we'll be talking about. I don't know, man.
My underdog.
I'm trying to think if who's gonna go off for Gonzaga. If it's Corey Kispert or if they play Baylor, I don't know if somebody's gonna go off. Baylor's been so good on defense recently. I think they'll just have a good team win. Like I don't think like you were like Suggs is gonna have 30 points. I don't see that against maybe it's
the biggest stage.
If you're hitting shots, but
Davion Mitchell.
I love David. Maceo can make it rain like he did on senior night. That'd be sick if he hits like 10 threes.
If Baylor wins,
you know who would be a surprising one? Matthew Meyer.
Oh my god!
If that dude comes off the bench and just starts heating up like a microwave like he does.
That would be like Chris Hogan winning the Super Bowl MVP for the Patriots, like something like that.
That'd be just a cool story. Mark Vidal's he doesn't do it on offense enough.
But I think if Mitchell shuts Suggs down in the title game, I think he can be a very good candidate for it, and I think that's a good story too.
Yeah.
Defensive player finally getting the glory, even though he can play offense too.
Right. He's so fast.
Ridiculous.
He's so fast. Like the last couple games, he's just put on this extra. Like when he drives, it's been super impressive.
Yeah. So for Dave's sake, I'll go with Davion Mitchell.
Sleeper alert. Matthew Meyer. If you don't know his name, you'll know. You know who's hot on him? Fran Fraschilla.
Really?
Fran Fraschilla said like multiple times on a broadcast I've watched that he's going to be like a good player in the NBA.
He weathered the storm. Was it when Mitchell got into foul trouble against Arkansas?
Oh.
He came in and he played like incredibly. I was like, oh my god! Like he weathered the storm, and
he's just tall.
You couldn't even tell that Mitchell was out.
He was
making baskets, playing defense, and like he really helped them. Like in that spurt where Arkansas started to come back.
Yeah. No, he's. I think Fran Fraschilla's onto something. I think we might. I don't think he's gonna be like an all-star in the NBA, but I think he could be one of those dudes that's just like in the NBA for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not gonna get. He's not like the Jared Butler or Jalen Suggs. He's not gonna get drafted in the first couple picks in the draft, but. Sleeper alert. That was a good question. That's a tough one.
I see.
It's hard with
that on the spot.
It's hard with 4 games because you don't know like what outcome's gonna.
It's usually the point guard of the best team or the Anthony Davis of the best team.
That's like common sense will tell you it's Juzang, but it'll be like Tiger Campbell. Tiger Campbell's gonna have 25 today,
and it's gotta be. I think it's usually to the winning. It's always to the winning team, the national title game.
Right. And then what's the Doesn't Jim Nance give his like tie to the best senior at the end of the national championship? I heard that somewhere. Yeah. Baylor only has 2 seniors, so it would either be Mark Vidal or Maceo Teague.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's a senior on Gonzaga. Is Corey Kispert a senior or Timmy? I don't even know.
I think Kispert's a senior. He's been there a while. I can't remember.
So somebody's getting Jim Nance's tie.
I love Jim Nance. I love his. When I hear his voice on Monday night, woo, that gets me going.
Those commercials too, the new Capital One commercials.
Those are great.
They've been great.
And like when
with the Larry Bird jokes, those are funny.
And hearing him
ruffled his feathers.
Hearing Nance at the Masters too is great.
Yeah.
Return to glory. Now Tiger is recovering.
Shouts to our one viewer still on the live stream. I don't know who you are.
It's usually me. It's usually me when I'm not on.
Our heads are cut off, so like, I'm surprised you've been watching this whole time. Go subscribe on YouTube. Hopefully it's better quality audio. We got our Yeti mic down here. You can't see it off camera, but... Alright, let's finally get out of here. Everybody, episode 103. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Enjoy the Final Four. Hopefully we get 3 good games here. Is that how many? Right? Yeah, 3 games.
Yes,
Um,
and the consolation game.
I hope we, I hope we get. I just, I just want entertaining
Yeah,
games as always.
let's go Bears.
We,
And when the Bears win the title,
I don't complain enough on this podcast. I had Final Four tickets last year.
oof.
Didn't get to go to that, so let's hope for just.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in Indy, as you can tell. Um, I wanted to do live episodes from Atlanta last year, but
Oh, that would have been sick. And
another universe.
let's hope Baylor wins the title and Scott Drew comes to North Carolina.
That's
That's
gonna
gonna
be the best,
and
worst week ever.
and then Dave gets to bust my chops about winning a title, and I get to bust his chops because we got his coach.
Oh, we gotta end on that.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we're gonna get Jay right.
Um, that'd be cool. If you guys get anybody but Scott Drew, I'll be happy.
Honestly,
Um,
but that's a big that puts Baylor on another level too. Because like, oh, we have the new North Carolina head coach. Who used to
Jerome
coach
Tang's
for us.
good, but I like Drew, man. We gotta keep Scott around. He's a goat. I want him to be like Coach K. Just coach at Baylor till he's 75, just without the devil stuff.
Yeah, I was hoping Roy made it to 1,000, but we can dream, can't we?
All right, everybody. Till next time.
Peace.
And then the